Hello there, I'm going to bring you a review for the first time in a little while now. This is the Uhlsport Eliminator. This is a range which has already undergone a couple of transitions. This glove is a couple of years old. This is an interesting example of the form. Obviously it's a nice colourway. As I say, it's really the last nice colourway I feel that Uhlsport have produced for their mainline gloves. They've been getting increasingly shrill, and the most recent one is a rather horrid grey and green combination, but to each their own. Anyway, this glove is an example of the 360 cut. Now this is interesting. The 360, which as I say is basically all about the fingers, was a cut that Uhlsport themselves innovated a number of seasons ago. It was designed to improve the tightness and control of the conventional flat palm cut without necessarily becoming a roll finger cut. And it was popular for a while. It was just called the 360, and there are a couple of examples of the range before Uhlsport summarily discontinued it to pursue other advancements and other ideas. The cut has kind of remained of some interest to goalkeepers as the years have worn on, because it was selected as the preference of choice by Hugo Lloris, pretty much as far as I'm aware from when he first tried it on, and he has stuck rigidly with that cut ever since. So every single example of an Uhlsport goalkeeper glove that you have seen Hugo Lloris wear has incorporated this cut. Uhlsport have never deigned to re-release the cut up until when they release these, but it has been the SMU of Hugo Lloris in all of his gloves. Clearly he took a liking to it, and as one of Uhlsport's chief endorsees, the captain of Tottenham Hotspur and France no less, they were keen to indulge him. Now the glove itself, as usual for Uhlsport, it's beautiful build quality. You can tell lovely materials have been used in it. But as befits a rather sort of motley selection of hybrid ideas, old and new, it is just that. It is a bit of a mixture of the old and the new. As I say, the build quality is as you'd expect, and it has the design and characteristics, the overt use of latex on the fingers and the punching zone and whatnot that you'd expect on the newer models. It has a conventional flat palm thumb, which again, this is all designed around the preference of Hugo Lloris. The strap is just your basic latex strap, which again is fine, gives a classic fit. There's nothing new about that, but then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The wristband, that's an example of an older trait on a newer glove, is the classic fabric, which although countless goalkeeper companies are insisting on using neoprene these days, and neoprene does give a lovely fit once it's on, I, like many other keepers, prefer just the standard fabric. It's much easier to get on, and it is just the classic choice. And it's on this glove again because it is designed to be the representation of Lloris's choices. Now, the glove itself, straightforward enough to get on, and straight away, it's a flat palm glove. You can see that, but once the fingers are on, you can see that there is a slight coralling of the fingers, and it's designed to feel almost internally on the fingers like it is a roll finger, but it's a flat palm. It's a very odd glove. I get the impression that it is a bit of a love-hate. I had an original 360 pair when the range was actually being sold as a regular range, and I quite liked it, but it's not everybody's cup of tea, because it is not a conventional flat palm yet. It is designed to be that. It's a very odd glove, but as I say, it's the preference of Hugo Lloris, and goalkeepers within the community have been screaming for a while for this glove to be released, and they got their wish. That's the good news. The bad news is that for all it is lovely to see this glove back, the desire to see it back and the technology that's been shoehorned into it, it doesn't really need it. You could make a very basic version of this glove and just highlight the cut, which is what it's all about. But because it's part of the range, when this glove was released, it was over £100 as an RRP, which is typical but still absolutely staggering for any goalkeeper glove. I don't care that this is supposed to be the exact glove of Hugo Lloris. It's outrageous to charge £100 for a goalkeeper glove, and funnily enough, as is the case with Uhlsport and Ruche, are another example of this. They charge extortionate sums of money for their gloves, and they depreciate like Mercedes cars. They charge 100,000 for a Mercedes, and they say that once it drives off the roll court, you've lost 40, 50, 60% of your value, and your Uhlsport gloves are the same. They depreciate like a stone dropped off a cliff. So I was in the end able to buy these. I think I paid just over £50 for them, so half price, because I was desperate to try them because I was a fan of the cut. It's interesting, is when I used the 360 cut, I was much younger and I wasn't really as aware of the differences and virtues of cuts as I am now. I didn't enjoy using it as much as I remembered when I was a kid. That's not to say that I suddenly want to call it a bad glove. I mean, this is a size 7.5, which is what I wear in all sport gloves because I find they run half a size too big 9 times out of 10. It fits beautifully as a 7.5. It's absolutely perfect. There's no real play. It's very comfortable. I feel in control with the glove on. When I used it, I didn't really have any issues. I just wasn't blown away by it, and that might very well be my fault as much as anything else. But as I say, it's a perfectly nice glove. I wouldn't pay £100 for this or for any other goalkeeper glove. The other innovation which has allowed Uhlsport to charge this money is, as you can see, the flecks are black. This represents the graphite technology which is now in Uhlsport's SuperGrip latex, which is their new top-end latex. It's surpassed the Absolute Grip and is now featured on all the vast majority of Uhlsport endorsee gloves. As I say, it's a very nice glove. I think aesthetically it's a little bit bombastic, but colour-wise the mixture is very pleasing. It's a very comfortable glove. It's typical Uhlsport. You know exactly what you're getting. They are the most consistent manufacturer of gloves on the market. They're always very good. But if you can get this glove, because obviously the response was positive enough that they've kept releasing the 360 and the variations of this glove since, but it's getting even more expensive. I think the top Uhlsport glove is over £70 now, over £170, I beg your pardon, which is a joke. No other word for it. But if you can get this glove for a good price, the latex is good, it's very durable. I've used it a couple of times and there's nary a fleck to be found. It's comfortable, it's a top quality goalkeeper glove, but is it worth the money? I don't think so, but you'd have to be the one to choose. But it's a fascinating thing nonetheless.